Hi you guys, happy Wednesday and welcome back to my channel. Lieutenant General MKHWANAZI yesterday was hot in that ad hoc committee. He was hotter like a heater. And he came for everybody, such as Dihars, Ramukhodzi, and none other than Kola Bernard. And these are the people that after MKHWANAZI testified at Madlanga, they saw it fit for them to go do media interviews to reply to everything that MKHWANAZI said. Today, he got his second opportunity to reply to the replies. In this video, I wanted us to talk about these replies and how things went about in ad hoc committee. So let us first start with Dihars. So to those who don't know Dihars, these are some of the things that Dihars has said about Lieutenant General MKHWANAZI and the political killing task team.
Now, the Killings Task Team has gone in and actually messed up cases involving the killings of politicians. And this minister is behaving the way ministers should do, which is very rare in South Africa. The last minister was running himself. We've had other ministers run up. It's not the way these work in democracies. The minister has behaved in a very proper manner, communicating through the National Commission. And now, the context of this, and the point is that if MKHWANAZI has problems and believes that there's a criminal action party, he makes sure the case is opened and investigated, right? But he has a problem with the minister. He must go to the Parliamentary Oversight Committee because that's the one he must give his evidence to Parliament, not to the media. Okay, so he's completely out of order.
So according to Dihars, the work that MKHWANAZI was doing and everybody else was just very useless. And also, MKHWANAZI was not supposed to do that media brief. So this is that person. And MKHWANAZI said that she's just nothing but a desktop researcher.
Request this other committee to invite me to the house, not visually. If she's in a wheelchair, we'll bring her here. But she must come here and sit in this chair and repeat that which she wrote. And then allow the honorable members to ask her questions. I did not start at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, but I learned that she's an academician. And I'm disappointed if I was a student of Merity House, if she was a lecturer, and she would have made me pass a certain qualification, I would begin asking myself whether is that qualification credible. Because you cannot be a researcher, and you have someone sending you something, and you believe it to be the fact, and you go and communicate it out there as a researcher, if that's what she is. That's why I'm saying I don't know her. I'm beginning to question the institution that she works for. If she's indeed, because I heard that she's at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, the province I come from, which is a bit disturbing for me. Because, honorable chair members, with respect, I think Merity House is a desktop researcher, if any.
This is such a very funny comment coming from MKHWANAZI. And he was firing that bombshell at her that you are nothing but a desktop researcher. You don't even know what you're doing. It is not just her only. Even Kola Bernard. You guys remember Kola Bernard? She said that no, she was not interfering. She was just following News 24, the media. And MKHWANAZI spoke about the media and alerted the members of parliament about the media, such as News 24, who spoke about those two properties that implicate General Dumisani Khumalo as well as Fanny Masemula. Today, Lieutenant General MKHWANAZI provided clarity as with regards to that, because I did a video regarding the background and also the involvement of the Inspector General in that whole situation, and how Inspector General has been leaking information to personnel such as Kola Bernard, O'Sullivan, as well as the media. Because how MKHWANAZI was asking, how is it that News 24 was able to release that type of information, because that information is classified information. The fact that it's about the property and everything, all of those assets that were implicated there, that information was not supposed to come out.
Here, I hope that the ad hoc committee, through the Joint Standing Committee of Intelligence, tasked the state security of this country to conduct a thorough counterintelligence investigation on the role of the media in this country, and specifically specific journalists. Or City Press, one of those newspapers, but I know one of them, some of them write for News 24 intelligence. But in this few days back, that report was published by News 24 journalist. It's a classified document, and it talks about properties within the secret service account. So the question is, how does a journalist get hold of such?
So the Inspector General's office is a very, very corrupt office. As I told you guys, I told you that this man, he's been put there very intentionally by Ramaphosa and his faction and some of these people that don't want MKHWANAZI, Dumisani, and Pani Masemola, and they are in to destroy them. So MKHWANAZI replied, and this is what he said about those properties.
Will prove that the Office of the Inspector General of Intelligence has been an operational center that has been used to counter this criminal investigation happening in Gauteng. Honorable Chair and all members, I want to give this as a classic example. That's why I was apologizing on behalf of Ms. Kolopana that she had asked me in public that I must apologize. That she forgot that she was a member of the Portfolio Trusting Committee of Intelligence, therefore she should have known about this. On 238 NSM 13, there was a question from Parliament that was talking about the procurement of properties within the South African Police Service Crime Intelligence. And the response to this question was that this matter must be referred to the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence, which has an oversight responsibility over intelligence. That is one. If you move to the next page, and that one, question number 326 that came from Parliament in February, the 14th of February. The second question, honorable members, on 239 NSM 14, question 3617. This question was asked in June this year. And in June this year, Ms. Kolopana was sworn in as a member of the Joint Standing Committee of Intelligence.
So in essence, these properties were bought for particular investigations that they had to conduct, or for particular purposes that were good. And even if that was not the case, proper procedure is supposed to be followed, not leaking information from this office that is said to be very, very corrupt. Because even said that someone even had to be summoned from that Inspector General office that is going to come and testify at the ad hoc committee to say that that office is very much unstable.
The member in the Office of the Inspector General of Intelligence, Advocate Governor, should be invited, Honorable Chair, to come before this ad hoc committee, if I were to recommend, where she's going to come and tell you about the experience and the horrible things happening in that office. That the member, Mr. Adams, is the one who came with a classified document and presented it before the Inspector General of Intelligence to request Inspector General of Intelligence to conduct investigations on things. The members of IBEC have been frequenting the Office of the Inspector General of Intelligence, where things were plotted against these members of crime intelligence. So it's an experience we had with the late former Advocate Khadebe, who was an Inspector General of Intelligence 2011-2012, of how that office has been manipulated. These which are reference to on the 5th of March during my appearance. The similar things are happening today.
This made things worse in the ad hoc committee because these people finished at almost 12 o'clock, midnight, because they were debating if whether Kola Bernard needs to remain. Action SA, MKHWANAZI's party, Patriotic Alliance, and the ANC, they have decided that Magahambe, that's what they've decided. And I think it's definitely a good choice. While the EFF has said that they must not allow what happened to Hlophe to happen here, because Hlophe was the decision of the party, but the Democratic Alliance fought and even took the matter to court for him to not be part of the JSC, to a point that the EFF the ANC has not even put someone else in that position. They told themselves that we are not going to have anyone. If not Hlophe, then no one. So let us not continue with that precedent.
And the party she represents must properly reflect on this reality and act in a manner that protects the integrity of this process and Parliament in general. Because it's our considered view that to proceed as if we have not heard anything today. Now the general is before us and he has made a presentation. It will constitute a dereliction of duty on our party as members of this committee. And we are convinced as the ANC that it cannot be allowed to proceed without any comment about what needs to be done. So we would like the DA and the member concerned, starting with the member, to consider withdrawing her membership from the committee to protect all of us.
So the MKP fought and said for that reason, that one is even more the reason. Because even Patriotic Alliance used the issue of Kenny Kunene, that when Kenny Kunene was implicated, he took a step back. Up until the investigations were done, then he occupied his position again. So they're suggesting that Kola Bernard must just take a step back, especially since the information is now under oath. MKHWANAZI has given his testimony. She must just take a step back because she is now implicated. The DA obviously is not happy about that, but they decided that they're going to deliberate and they will come today and tell us if whether Miguel is going to be excused.
Chair, thank you. Chair, Honourable Novalo should know the rules, that it's a party matter, not a committee matter. The party will certainly discuss, but I can tell you now that from where we stand now, no one will recuse themselves. We all keep mentioning a constitutional democracy here, and we all keep citing the Constitution, and we keep hearing what would happen in a court of law. But now we're finding someone guilty without an opportunity for them to speak on their own behalf. I think it's utterly unfair.
No, Chair,
And I think that's not the direction we should be pushing in. So we're not going to debate.
What even shocked me, you know, guys, one thing about the media will shock you. Hence, I believe that the media is definitely pushing a certain narrative, and the media, you must be very careful of it. The media recently, if you guys remember, they had an interview with Cola Bernard asking her how she thinks about the testimony of MKHWANAZI, and that's when she even said that she wants MKHWANAZI to apologize, of which MKHWANAZI did sarcastically. I love that guy.
The honorable member had forgotten the oath that she took. I apologize for her. That she took an oath. That oath has got an expiry date according to her. That this one is valid only for the period when the Joint Standing Committee exists. When the Joint Standing Committee doesn't exist, that oath that she took, it expires. The honorable member that forget that she took an oath before South Africans in Parliament, to divulge the secret of government. And she forgot about the oath. I apologize for that. That she forgot that oath. And she asked the questions in February and the likes. But I must also apologize that the honorable member forgot that in April, May this year, she took an oath as a member of the Joint Standing Committee of Intelligence. But she still comes to the Portfolio Committee of Police and asks questions about the secret fund account. 3 questions that the police had to respond to her and say, sorry ma'am, this does not belong here. The chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Police knows that because I did share with him. This I shared because she denied the initial statement. Then I wanted to prove that it didn't all end there. I only made reference to some few things, not all. So there are many examples, Honorable Chair and members, that one can put, but amongst these recommendations that I put in here, one of them that maybe I didn't write is really to interrogate whether is it necessary for crime intelligence to account in an open committee.
I like that guy. What is so shocking is that they asked her about the ad hoc committee. I got confused because the last resolution that was taken at the last ad hoc committee meeting is that additional members such as her, they only occupy when the original members or the permanent members are supposed to be there more frequent than the additional members. That's when the additional members can take the place of the permanent member if the permanent member is not around. And I was shocked that Cola Bernard is there, despite the fact that she's facing such allegations. It doesn't make sense why Glennis will miss the first day because she wants to go attend the JSC. Why didn't she get an additional member for the JSC or not go for the JSC? Instead, she missed the first day, allowing this lady to attend. Could it be that these people have a certain narrative that they're trying to push? Could it be that they know very well that why they are putting Bernard in that position, knowing very well that she has been implicated? Is it because they're trying to prove to us that no, she's not innocent? Or they are trying to lower the value and the integrity of the ad hoc committee for us to not even have confidence in them because here is their member that is implicated and is here hearing evidence? Or is this a way for them to stall this whole process? Because why are you telling me, why is it that 3 consecutive meetings they're talking about Miss Cola Bernard and whether she needs to recuse herself or not, and all the times they don't even get to a resolution? Even today, even yesterday, they still failed to get to a resolution. They just said the party will decide and revert back to the ad hoc committee. I just don't understand why would they spend so much time on just one thing over and over and over again. They should just recuse her, allow her to leave that ad hoc committee, get someone else. DA has a lot of members. They can get anyone else there that can replace her because clearly she is a problem. If majority of the members of parliament actually agree, then she is a problem. And I think they are using her, others are using her to push their party narratives. Because don't forget, it's politicians. All the time, it will always draw back to politics. It always draws back to the party politics, scoring certain images, scoring certain goals. So I think that others are definitely using the committee to push those party politics, those party narratives, and whatever the case may be. Because others were saying that, no, it's a party choice. Others were saying, no, it's not about your party. It's about the committee. You cannot put the committee into disrepute. We must think about the integrity and the image of the committee and the confidence of the public towards this committee. And I kind of agree with them. Already people don't have confidence in the ad hoc committee. People are not watching these proceedings as much as they did with Madlanga. That's because of them even failing to organize everything. They're just too disorganized. Now and again, there's procedural issues. Malema has to fix them. It's like they don't even know what they're doing. All the time they have to be told, no, you don't do that, you do this. So I don't know what you guys think about this whole process and whether you think Miss Cola Bernard should recuse herself, but I definitely think that just to save everything and to save time, she could have just even stood there and then at that time and said, you know what, guys, let us just continue with the business of the day. I'll recuse myself because right now I'm going to be a witness in this Matlanga Commission and respond. And the last person that Mtlatla Mkhwanazi spoke about was Bram Mokgotsi. He said, this Bram Mokgotsi person, this one that you guys are talking about, he even knows that according to the rules of the police, you can't just take someone else's phone. You need to get permission from them. That is proof enough to show that this Brown of yours, this Bram Mokgotsi, he definitely is working well with the police and he's interfering with the police, because how can just a civilian, does he even have some degree in policing? How does he get this information? One can say it's ChatGPT or it's research. No, it's not research. It's not all of that. It's because he knows the police. It's because he's interfered a lot of times with the work of the police. That's how he knows all of these laws, and the fact that there is that section 2 something that bars the police from accessing his cell phone. Even though Mkhwanazi is saying that no, their cell phones were not like cracked, or there was someone who forced them. Instead, they were asked, please open your phone. And then they downloaded the information. That's how they got to have the information. And also, shockingly enough, I was shocked to find that the dockets were moved from KZN to Pretoria, and the instruction actually came from Dumisani Khumalo
to General Khumalo's office to collect the dockets in Pretoria. It is Khumalo who moved the dockets from Durban to Pretoria. It was by instruction of General Khumalo to move the docket, not General Sentiment.
And Khumalo never told you all this?
He never told me. I was furious with him.
Yeah, I was going to ask you now.
Yeah, I was furious with him. I was furious with him. He simply said, there's just too much things happening, and so there was this instruction, and he decided to comply with it, because I think they were just attacking left and right.
I was shocked to hear that, and Mkhwanazi even said that he was angry to hear that Dumisani is the one that actually was involved, and Dumisani in his defense said that he was receiving like a lot of pressure around that, and also alleges that the minister did not write that instruction or that letter that is disbanding the political killing task team. So there's just a lot that was revealed. I think that these two processes are important because either the fact that even though we've heard his testimony before, all the time you always hear new things. And you're like, this thing is it's just unending. It's just a lot. But nonetheless, everything else, guys, I think you know it. And the first issue, I think some of the creators have already discussed that very well in depth. SMWX, I give him his flowers. He explained that part very, very well. So you guys can go watch the first part of the testimony. I'm just giving you guys the other parts that have not been I've not heard any other creators discuss. You have it. What do you think? And what do you think about the explosive? Because Mtlatla Mkhwanazi is like, Yazin, ningang jayeli. Guys, I'll see you on my next upload. Bye.
The members of crime intelligence are going to be forced to defend themselves. And the only best way to defend themselves is to speak the truth. And when they come with the truth, majority of you will not be able to stomach it. This country is going to burn.